Hey everybody, this is Barry from NFT Music Info. I hope you are well. Now there's a chap called Cooper Trooper in the Web3 music NFT landscape space, and he's very influential. He's been on a lot of YouTube interviews, he's been on a lot of Twitter spaces. He's a huge purchaser of music NFTs, some of the big music NFT projects he loves to purchase because he sees them as an investment, which I think is fantastic. And what he's done is he's created this music NFT landscape. And I just think it's so fascinating because it does give you a glimpse of some of the DAOs that are going on in the music NFT space. And I just think this is huge. However, this is not the definitive list. There are a lot of Twitter comments on there saying, what about us? What about us? But I think it is important to at least, start to collate all of these DAOs, these decentralized organizations, to understand how they are going to impact on the music NFT space going forwards. As we know, music NFTs, the technology is changing. We're early. This is still evolving. It's not the definitive list, and we are not at the end game yet. So, however, what is important is it's so important if you're a musician to research as much as you can about music NFTs, because one of the biggest positives about music NFTs is that it produces this new revenue stream. As otherwise we are stuck with streaming services like 3,000 streams on Spotify, you'll get $1, as opposed to selling 1,000 music NFTs for $1 each, that's then $1,000 straight away. So that's why I am passionate about music NFTs and why I created the channel. So let's have a look at some of these, shall we? And I want to try and break it down a little bit, but I don't want to go too much into it because it is, it's quite a list, isn't it? So if you're looking at platforms that host a one-of-one NFT, then you've got various options. You have catalog. So catalog, I've been a fan of for a long time now. I mean, I'm coming up to a year in the space, almost a year in the space of music NFTs. And catalog is a fantastic music NFT dedicated platform where, similar to records, they host one-of-one music NFTs. So if I have a quick look at catalog.works, which is how it's known, huge profile pic on the beginning. But at least that gives you what to focus on. You can see they have auctions, they have buy it nows, and people bid a lot of money. It's on the Ethereum blockchain. I mean, look, this has got a bid of game over for 10 ETH. That is a huge amount of money. The problem with this platform, it's very hard to get onboarded onto as a musician. I must have applied about 6 times now, and I haven't even had a response, which is quite scary. Our feet is on here, that's cool. She really helps on Twitter Spaces. She helps a lot of musicians try and understand how to get on to create music NFTs, which I think is fantastic. But you can see it's brilliant. It's such a brilliant platform. And as I say, it's one-of-one music NFTs. If we have a look at Arpeggi, if we have a look at the Arpeggi Twitter page, you'll see that they joined in 2021. So that just gives you a bit of an indication about how new some of these platforms are. And it's actually a Web3 music creation platform, which I've used previously. I really like it. It's a very simplistic way of creating music, and you're able to mint those on the blockchain, and then you're able to sell them on the market as well. So, but again, it's whitelist access to begin with if you want to do it officially. So that's that. There's also Zora. Now, Zora is known as a great NFT music platform, but what it seems to be really good on is actually music videos. So let me have a quick look at that for you. So let's have a quick look at Zora. And if you're interested in more of a deep dive into any of these music NFT platforms or NFT platforms, please just have a look at my playlists because I've got them split by the NFT platforms themselves. So it should be fairly easy to have a look at those. Now, as you can see, it's quite an interesting website. I think I'm on here actually, I should be on here. So if I type in Cyber Monday, as I'm a synth pop artist and also a synth wave artist, there we go. So this is a music NFT that I created. It's a one-of-one, current price 0.2 ETH. And basically what I've done is I've put my track waves with all of the animation, and the animation reacts to the music, which is pretty cool. I'm really kind of proud of this NFT, but as I say, it's a one-of-one music NFT. Really makes you feel as though you're kind of just stuck in the sea, doesn't it? I'm quite proud of that one. So anyway, moving on, we then have foundation.app. Foundation is very similar to Zora. In fact, I think it was built from the Zora architecture. So let's have a quick look at that. I'm quite a fan of foundation.app actually. I mean, there's just such cool NFTs on here. This one's a collection of Stairway to Heaven, and it's currently got a bid on it for 0.3 Ethereum. And remember, these are one-of-one NFTs, but I consider this to be one of the best NFT platforms that there is. And I certainly had a lot of success selling one of my one-of-one NFTs, which we'll have a look at. Look at that cloud coffee, that's so cool. Wow, I just love looking at this stuff, it's fascinating. Wow, is that like a take on ABBA or something? I don't know. Anyway, I digress. So let me have a quick look at mine. So yeah, these are some of the NFTs that I produced. So I did, this one sold for 0.1 Ethereum. Again, this one reacts to the music, as does this news flash on Foundation. I don't know if you remember the teletext stuff. This one's just a typical art NFT that I was very proud of, very generative. I'll get my words out one of these days. Done floppy disks, I've done other stuff. But yeah, just one sale on that so far. But yeah, I love Foundation. However, again, Ethereum fees are expensive. Then we've got one called Form Function, which I'm going to be honest, I'm not familiar with. So let's take a look. Okay, so Form Function is the one-of-one marketplace on the Solana blockchain. So similar one to this could be SolSea. This does look like Foundation, but on SolSea. I didn't even know this existed, so this looks pretty cool. You've got some good current bids on there as well. I think they might be giving Foundation a run for its money, personally, looking at this. So yeah, one I may have to delve in deep a bit later on. Love the look of this. Lots of current bids, huge amount of current bids on there. Wonder how many NFTs are actually on there. Be interesting. Formfunction.xyz if you're interested. So it's a platform for creatives by creatives, same as Foundation. We believe that your art deserves the same attention from collectors as big generative NFT projects, and we want Form Function to be the best NFT marketplace on Solana for independent artists and creators. I think it's fantastic that there's all of these platforms, but my gosh, can it be confusing. So if you want to know more about these NFT platforms, a sub to the channel would be fantastic. Form Function, fantastic. Okay, so those are the one-of-one NFT platforms that we've looked at that are currently on there by Koopa Trooper. I hope he's a Mario fan. I certainly was. So let's have a look at some of these editions. Okay, so we've got relics on here. We've got Nifty Gateway, Nina, Mint Songs, Sound, Rareable, One Of, Async Music, and OpenSea. So the ones that I've covered on my channel. Not sure about Nifty Gateway if I've covered that one, but I've definitely covered Mint Songs and Sound and Rareable and One Of and Async Music and OpenSea. So check those out if you're interested in the video. Because there's plenty there. I think the biggest problem is onboarding artists. These platforms need to get more artists onboarded. However, I know why they're very cautious about doing that. It's because that if they open it up to as many musicians as possible, what's going to happen to the floor price on their platform? It's going to go down. So that's why there's a lot of people that are just holding off, I guess. But Mint Songs is great. Mint Songs is helping with onboarding, for example. So that's going to allow artists to put up a free NFT of a poster, maybe just a profile pic of them or something, just to get their Web 2.0 fans onboarded into Web 3. And Mint Songs will actually create their crypto wallet in the background. So the fan will just find a link, click on the link, fill out an email address and a name, then they'll get a crypto wallet where they can get that free NFT. Now that is incentivizing Web 2.0 fans into Web 3, which I am all for. So I think that's really cool. Sound XYZ is that example that I gave with just, just such amazing money's being made on that platform. However, it's not open to a lot of artists at the moment. OpenSea, I've got a huge collection on OpenSea. I've got my entire vault with 640 tracks on there that anybody can purchase if they're interested. But there's also my general music tracks on there as well, where I try and do some visuals, sometimes generative as well. So if I have a look at the music vault first of all, I've got different tiers on this NFT music project, 18 owners at the moment with 8 different items. I made sure that they were available on Polygon so that people don't have to pay gas if they don't want to, but also the fact that my NFTs are also available on the Ethereum blockchain, because there's some investors or fans that only want to purchase on Ethereum, which is absolutely fine. So there you go. So the idea with these is that you purchase the NFT and then you'll get in the unlockable content for utility, you'll be able to download the tracks from there. And as well as that, I've also got my, bear with me, my typical Cyber Monday music tracks on here, of which I'm quite proud of because I've just got 198 owners on here, but a very, very low floor price, a couple of dollars going all the way up to about $80. So nothing too dramatic. But yeah, I'm quite proud of these collectible cards that I've done. I've got Discord NFT there. And I think nearer the bottom, there's a lot more generative art that also reacts to the music as well. I've done different various things for that as well. So that is OpenSea. Then there's the eBay marketplace for NFTs. Now there's some avatars on here. So there's Wobblebugs, there's Chill Pill, there's Fluff, Pixel Bands. So these are like avatar projects on there where you can basically purchase these avatars. So I'm not going to go into that right now, but certainly it's something you can look into if you want to. There's also chats on here, WAV World, which I think sounds cool, EDOM, rare.wav connoisseurs. Oh, sounds posh, interesting. Want to have a look at WAV World. So WAV World is basically a social garden at the intersection of music and Web3, giving meaning to creators' collective experiences. So if you want to do that, they've got a Twitter channel, they've got their website as well. So there you go. Artists. So here are some of the artists that are influential in the music NFT space. So Aoki Verse, yeah, Steve Aoki, I think his name is. So he's basically building his own metaverse, which is cool. So these are some of the ones in the music NFT space. There's also Dill. There's quite a few actually, very influential people, but that's just a few selected from Koopa Troopa. There's also some dance music NFT platforms. I'm sure there's one that I would have added in here, but still. There's Heat and Groove Time. So let's have a quick look at Heat. Ah, yes, this now makes sense. I now understand what is meant by this. I think this is about actual dancing to music, if I'm correct. Collect the hottest dance NFTs. Yeah, I was right. The most fun way to own dance NFTs. Cool. So that's something interesting, isn't it? Why is Groove Time selling NFTs? We believe that the art that dancers create has value. There, that just says it all. That's brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. Not much of a dancer myself. I'm more of a dancer, a bit like a robot. Then we've got some generative ones here. So for example, Sound Mint, Audio Glyphs, Synthopia. I'm going to have a look at Synthopia, aren't I? Synthopia, a generative music NFT experience, minting closed. So okay, this is a project. There's a lot of generative music coming on, and I think it's just going to get bigger as we go through. I really do. But yeah, so if you're interested in that, in generative stuff, you can check out some of those platforms. How cool. Then we've got streaming. So glad that Audius is up, but Koopa Troopa has worked alongside Audius to help them in the past. There's Emanate and BPM as well. Audius is great. I've heard a lot of interesting changes that might be happening with Audius, but I'm not going to say any of them yet just in case they don't happen, but could be interesting going forward. For those that don't know, audius.co is very similar to SoundCloud. They don't have their own music NFTs on there at the moment. But you're able to purchase the token, and if you've got a certain amount, then you're able to list your NFT collection from, say, OpenSea on your profile, which is pretty cool. Let's have a look at some other stuff. Research. Okay, so there's water and music. Now, my last video that I did is all about onboarding music fans in terms of going to Web3 to purchase music NFTs, and some of the negativity reasons of why they may not want to do that is on there. So check out my last video, because it really does go into good depth about the research paper that Water and Music have done. They're a really good DAO, and they're just very inspirational. The research that they're doing in this space is really important, because we are all early in this space, and we need to keep track of stats. We need to keep track of what's selling, what isn't, strategies, ideas, and that's certainly something that Water and Music do. It's a subscription service as well, so you can subscribe to them and find out about them via Twitter. And there's also NFT Now as well. Tickets. Now, this is an interesting one going forward. So for any kind of utility with ticketing, such as festivals, that kind of thing, there's Yellow Heart and there's Gatekeeper. Let's have a look at some collectibles now. So we've got POAP, Vanopoly, and also Record Shop. Now, Record Shop is an interesting one. I've covered them before. They do a lot of drops. I love how their platform looks. In fact, let's take a quick look. Here we go. So just look how visual this is. It's so appealing. They look like real collectibles, don't they? Well, they are real collectibles, but you know what I mean. Physical. They look like physical. We've got featured drops here. This focuses mainly around dance music. For me, again, I really do want to get involved with this, but haven't had a response regarding that. So I just think this is great. It's such a cool platform. Do you remember what I said about we are early? I made quite a good investment on Record Shop, purchasing some NFT collections. I think one of the starter packs, and then I resold it for quite a good profit. Then I purchased some music because I couldn't find out how to export that to my digital wallet, and apparently that's coming in the future. But again, we're early, so that's not currently available. So something to bear in mind with that. But no, I love Record Shop because I think it's great. Grants, so this could be for musicians. So there's Music Fund and there's audio grants on Audius. No, is it Audius? No, it might not be Audius actually. Sorry, I got confused because that is so similar. So have a quick look at audio grants. There we go, Audius. Yes, it is Audius Grants Program. Sorry, it's so easy to get confused. So many things that we see in this space. Just seeing that logo, it just caught me off track completely. So yeah, if you're interested, whether you need to apply for audio grants, then you can check this Twitter page, Audio Grants Committee, and you can vote and you can find out more with that. Collectives, there's Song Camp, Beats Deo, Friends with Benefits, Ampled, and Soundworks. Now, I haven't come across any of these previously. Let's have a quick look at Songcamp. That seems the obvious one to check out. Okay, so Songcamp is a Web3 laboratory experimenting at the edges of music and the new internet. They do Web3 hackathons, they do songwriting camps. They're using the XYZ ending of their webpage, Genesis story. So lots of stuff to check out with that. There's just so much to this, isn't there? But yeah, I'm going to try not to get into too much depth. Royalties is a really interesting one, because it could be tokenization of music. So you may have one of one NFT, but it may be split as a token, and that can be a good investment and revenue stream for artists. Or it might be, selling your royalties with your music completely that the buyer could purchase. And that's an interesting one. So Royal, which is Blau's music NFT platform, has made a lot of noise recently because there's been quite a few drops of there. There's a bit of criticism at the moment, because if you look at how much they're selling for as opposed to how much the investors are actually getting back in royalties, there's quite a bit of a disconnect there. And I think that's always going to be the case with streaming. I just can't see it any other way, to be perfectly honest. But it is what it is. We are where we are. We're early. So that's royal.io. And there's Decent, and there's also Opulus. Opulus, I'm really excited about Opulus. I'm waiting to see a bit more information about that. But I have reported on what I've known so far on previous videos. So check that out if you haven't already. Good, good, good. Fan clubs. Okay, so I'm just going to check some of these. There's Mirror. Okay, yeah, Mirror's a really good DAO website that's really growing. But there's loads of others. Look, there's Afterparty Passage, Cosigned, Tele Rally, Bonfire, Afterparty Aesthetics. Check some of those out if you haven't already. Videos. Okay, Glass Protocol. Okay, let's have a quick look at Glass Protocol because I'm not familiar. Isn't it amazing? I've been in this space nearly a year, and there's so many DAOs that I just haven't come across before. I think I've heard of it. I just haven't invested it myself. Glass.xyz. Now that makes sense. Okay, yeah. Premiering in 5 hours, so they've got drops on here, which is good to see. So yeah, I think this is owning music videos by the look of it. Nice, because you're not bombarded with too many NFTs on one page. They're quite large, but then you're scrolling down forever. So there you go. So have a look at Glass if you're interested in that. Merch, IYK. So IYK is a bridge between the physical and digital worlds. So this is about claiming a linked NFT, and then the current holder of that NFT will have physical possession of that item. So it could be trainers, it could be jackets, anything of that nature really. So interesting DAO there. Agencies. So there's Chippy Labs. That's the one that seems to scream out the page for me. There's also Hi-Fi, Doomsday, X6 and Hearts. I'm not going to look into those now, but if you are, those are the ones to check out. And labels. Now there's a lot of people that want to join Web3 because they don't want to be part of the label. They don't want a middleman between, that's sexist, so middle lady, middle woman, between the musician and the fan. But there is still stuff to say about having a label, certainly. So those are some of them there at the moment. There's also Bitwax. So Bitwax has got a YouTube channel. I've said to hi with him a few times because he's got a small dance album that he wants to bring onto web3.0. So that's pretty cool. So check out Bitwax if you haven't already. Can't talk today. So there you have it. Lots to check out. Yeah, just one slide. It's just got so much information on it, which I love. Because it's good, like a quick reference guide really. So I hope you like this video. If you're interested in finding out more about some of these platforms, then please subscribe. Give the video a like if you enjoyed it. Put in any comments that you might want to do, and I'll speak to you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.